Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. Now, I know that a lot of you probably been seeing uh, some ads, or not some ads, some books that have been coming up. And my buddy Brian, I didn't want anybody to think that I haven't been doing anything. I finally got my book. This is our next book of the month. Okay, this is the book we'll be reading. And as you can see, it's called Untrapped, Freedom Manifesto. Become an entrepreneur to escape the grind and find freedom and happiness by Brian Carruthers. So I don't want anybody thinking that I didn't get the book. It's just I've been reading some other books right now, and I had to wait till I was done with those books in order to get this one. Now, everybody knows that I've read Building Lasting Success, and I promote it to everybody. But my book did come, and I will be getting it for everybody on my team once I'm done reading it and everything else, so that they will have an opportunity to go through the skills. Now, why do I promote Brian? First off, he's a friend of mine. He's a really, really good guy. Second, he's still in the field working, okay? He's in the trenches, so everything he's writing, he's doing it while he's actually doing it. In other words, a lot of people, they write stuff and they expect you to listen, do as I say, not as I do thing. Brian's actually out there every day doing it. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got some great kids and everything else. I've known Brian for some years now. And, I do get his books and everything. I still think he owes me a couple t-shirts. Uh, it's an inside joke. But the reason why I want to do that is because there's a lot of Marines out there, a lot of military out there. They're always looking at how to get ahead in life. And they see the stuff I do. And I don't expect everybody to do what I do. Now, I get that. But there are some books out there that you can read that will actually, I'm not saying you don't have to read all the other books, but he takes out of all those other books, like from the Jim Rohns to the Zig Ziglars and everything in the world. He's read all these. We rate them every month, but he's actually putting forth, he's practicing what he preaches, okay? And now with Marines, my biggest thing is I want to help as many military as possible, especially my Marine Corps family. We all have those moments of relapse and judgments. Like, kind of give you an idea, I'm always honest and upfront with everybody. Like, even today, I was trying to tell one of my friends, the last couple days I've been pulled in a lot of different directions, and even on my social time, my private time, I just wasn't fun to be around. My jokes were a little stale, when you get pulled in a lot of directions and you start getting beat down a little bit, and you don't feel like people appreciate you, which they do, but we get that feeling inside, and even I get that feeling inside. We just want to basically curl up and go back to bed, but we can't do that. And it's funny is because we don't mean some of the stuff we do and say, but as we're getting pulled in different directions, we hear about something being said here, something being said there. We have to fight to stay out of that drama, because it's funny because we all get pulled back into that drama. And we have to keep out of that drama. And I've been keeping out of that drama for years, and I get really, really tired of it, because it has no purpose. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of space, But, there are some of our friends that want to pull us back into that, or they hear something and they say something, or somebody wants to use our names for something. And, sometimes we go so hard that we don't see when people are appreciative, even though they are, and we know they're appreciative. We just, for some reason, don't see it, and we feel like what we're doing is a waste of time and energy because people don't care what we're doing, or they wait till the last minute to tell us something, or they wait till the last minute to ask us something. And we never want to get like that, okay? And when it comes to business, we can apply that type of stuff to business also. Why do we want to keep going back to somebody that keeps saying no, or somebody that doesn't get back to us? Why do we want to keep pushing forward? Why do we want to keep doing the same thing and repetitive? Why do we want to keep doing that? Well, the answer is this: because eventually those walls are going to come down. Eventually you're going to have somebody say yes. Eventually you're going to prosper. But if you don't maintain the course and you keep starting over with something new, you're never going to see that prosper. It's you got to plant a seed, okay? And that seed takes time to grow. And with me, I plant thousands of seeds, and everybody knows I've got a garden and everything else. Everything I do comes from seed. And when I plant those seeds, and then I water them and I let them grow, some of them die. There's nothing I can do about that. And we'll say that's the 22, okay? Some of them, they don't produce that much fruit. We'll say those are friends and family members that they love you. They just don't do much for you because they kind of just are there. They're wasting your time and energy, not on purpose. You love them. They're never going to go anywhere. You're never going to get rid of them. But we have to focus on that produces fruit. They, you want to give the sunshine and you want to give the fertilizer and you want to make sure they all get plenty of water and you want to baby them and take care of them and you want to make sure that they know they're appreciative. And sometimes we do all that, and I ourselves as the person doing it doesn't, we don't always feel appreciative. Like we sometimes feel like we're doing so much and no one cares. That's not the point though. And I get that way too. And sometimes I see people, they're really nice and they snap at me, and I don't realize that sometimes, yes, I did cause the problem, but I don't see it because we get ourselves so extended and pulled out there. We're sitting there pushing or beating on so many dead horses that we start blaming the people around us. Well, we can't do that. And the reason why you need to read books like, Untrap Yourself. And I think the illustration on the front's great. It shows a guy in a suit and tie, in his nice shoes on a treadmill going nowhere. And a lot of us in our lives, that's what we do. And that's what I'm always trying to tell people in the military and people out of college. If you go to college and you're complaining because you got a liberal arts degree and you got a degree because you went for frisbee throwing and you've got $1,000 in debt because you chose to keep going after that, that's your fault and you have to pay for that. There should be nobody else paying for your college debts except you because you signed the loan. No one's paying for my car debts. No one's paying for my insurance. Nobody's paying for all that. So what you got to do is you got to find a way out. And like I said, this book Untrapped, and if anybody, like later on, I'm going to read it and everything else, and I'm going to give a couple away after I get done reading in the next couple days. If you fill out my, that's what I'll do. I'm going to do this right now. I put a survey on my Facebook page. If you fill out my survey and you put my name and everything on it and you send it back to me, I'm going to put them in there and I'm going to give away 10 of these books. Okay. And I'm also going to read them on Facebook and I'm going to read it out there. And I'll even see if I'll get you on one of the phone calls with Brian and have him say hi to you or whatever else. So that you know that here's somebody, he's a fighter in the field with us. And I don't promote to everybody because there's a lot of people out there. They ask you to do what they say, but not as they do. And it feels like that in the military. You ever get those sergeants or staff NCOs or gunnies or first sergeants? I guess a lot of you can say the lance corporals or the specialists. They want you to do everything, but they're having you do their job. And they're not wanting to do it. They're not willing to do it. They're not true leaders. They're managers. They're not true leaders. A true leader, and managers can be true leaders, but a lot of times it's do as I say, not as I do. We need to get out of that routine. If you want somebody to do something, be willing to do it for yourself. If you want somebody to clean a bathroom, and this is what I learned years ago, and it's funny because on Full Metal Jacket, they say you're going to clean that toilet so the Virgin Mary herself would be happy to take. Anyway, you know what I'm going with that. But the whole point is that's how life is. You got to clean the crap sometimes, but you got to do it yourself. If you want anybody else to follow, you want anybody else to listen to, you want anybody else to see what you're going through, you have to be willing to do it yourself. And you have to be willing to lead them through it, not push them into it, but lead them through it and take them into there. You have to go first every time. You have to eat last, go first. You have to make sure your team's taken care of. And that's what I do. And that's the reason why number one, first off, y'all matter. But no matter how much I tell you you matter, if you don't go out there and do something, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You have to understand that you matter and you're important. I can tell you what books to read. I can tell you what companies to go to. I know Ursa Farmer Co-op is hiring. I know there's a lot of places that are looking for workers. You can even come work with me on what I do. I don't mind. But the fact is, if you're not willing to do any of that, then it's a waste of time on not just me, but on you. Because if all of a sudden you want somebody to tell you that magic, you want those magic beans to grow that freaking stalk up to the heavens where you're going to find a freaking golden goose that lays golden eggs and a golden harp and everything else, you're crazy. Because you have to do it yourself. You have to plant the seed inside yourself. And guess what? Whether it's good or bad, whether or not that you feel like you're on top or you're failing, you have to keep moving forward. And even from guys in the military and everything else where I try to tell you how great you are, you still have to keep going forward. You still have to push, whether you like it or not. You got to push forward. You have to do some of the stuff people tell you. Why? Because they've been there, they've done it, they're gonna do it again. Me personally, I get that way all the time. I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I feel like I said the wrong things, or I'm harder on myself than anybody else can ever be harder on me. And I try to fix it, and I try to always push to do better. I try to, do different things, but then I start getting into the blame game or having excuses for different things. The problem is the excuses fall on me. If it's gonna be, it's up to me. That's what you got to be. If it's gonna be, it's up to you. If you want to do something, then do it. Don't expect everybody else to do for you. If you see trash on the ground, pick it up, throw it away. If you see an opportunity, go take a look at it. Invest your time in it. Why? It's worthwhile. Okay, who cares if a meeting or two gets canceled? Who cares if somebody says no? There's 365 million people in the United States. If you're into sales, you can sell. If you're into maybe cars, or if you're into factories, if you like working a paint line, go do the best you can at it. And don't complain when you don't get what you want if you're not willing to put in the time and effort to do it. You do have a right to complain and say something if you're willing to put the time and effort into it. And I've heard people complain. I always listen to people that I watch them give 100%. And when it's time they have a grievance or a complaint, you know what usually happens? They don't complain. Why? Because they figure out a way to get it done. And then all of a sudden they have nothing to complain about. If all you want to do is complain about what other people are doing and you're not willing to do it yourself, then nobody wants to hear it. Why? Because then all you're doing is you're creating drama and gossip. So the best thing to do is go about life, do the best you can in life. Read books like this one. This one's called Untrapped, Freedom Manifesto by Brian Carruthers. I'm going to put some pictures on there. And I'll put another one of my surveys online. Fill it out. If you come on my team, and in this month at all, if you come on my team and you're one of my teammates, I'm going to get you that book and Building Lasting Success automatically, because it's a book we read that our team follows. And I'm not the boss of anybody. I am not the coach of anybody. All I am there to do is show you how to do it my way. And if you want to learn a different way, that's great. Okay, but I'm willing to go do it, and if you want to come along, that's great. Now, if you need a job, like you want to drive truck or something, I know hundreds of trucking companies hiring. I know lots of other places, like I was just getting done telling you, Ursa Farmer Co-op is hiring for all different positions. I know different places that are hiring for different factories. I know that places like Gardner Denver and Titan Wheel and Napi, they're all hiring. I know places outside of Quincy that are hiring. I know a lot of farms getting ready. They need extra help on the farms and everything else. So if you think that I only do one thing, you'd be mistaken. If you think that I only want to help you come onto my business, you're wrong. I want to help you get where you need to be. Not where you want to be, but where you need to be. Sometimes it's not what we want, it's what we need. Okay? And that's kind of a good way of looking at things. We may not always get what we want, but we do get what we need. And in life, that's how we got to look at our businesses. That's how we got to look at our business practices. However, if you want to get this book, I am going to post my 1 minute survey. It's just basically knowing if you got your will and everything done, stuff like that. I keep no secrets from anybody. And tonight I get my daughter, and I think Sunday, before I take my daughter back, we'll have a drawing. I'll draw several people out. Now, if I don't get any more than 50 people putting in there, okay, then we may do something different, and I might get all 50 people to look. I don't know yet. I'll figure that part out. But I am going to give a bunch of books away. I am going to get one for everybody on my team. So if you're on my team and you have a membership and you're active, you're going to get one. But I want you to know that no matter what in life, you can do better. Now, I don't want you to feel depressed. I want you to know that you can always do better. You can be better. You can go out there and do the best you can. Okay? As long as you try, as long as you push forward. My dad always told me, just do the best. Just keep going. Don't quit. Don't give up. Do your best. You know what? You don't even got to say anything to anybody. Now, granted, I am a talker, and I do enjoy people and stuff like that, but my family's not. They basically go out and they get it done, and they're gone. They literally will go do what they're supposed to do. They'll do a better job than everybody else, and they're gone. So all I'm telling you right now is be a better person. If you want me to send you the 1 minute survey, I can send it directly to you. If you want me to, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube page and my LinkedIn page. So if you fill it out, go ahead and fill it out, and then I will get it sent out to you. And I'm also going to give away a couple of Building Lasting Success books by Brian Carruthers, and how I made my first million by Brian Carruthers. Also, I'll get a couple of those books out there. They're really quick reads. But the whole point is, whatever it takes for you to do, whatever job you're in, whatever you want to do, go for it. If you want to write a resume and everything else, go to my YouTube page. I'm telling you, I do things on how you can write resumes, what the businesses are looking for. I go and interview business owners to find out what they're looking for, to give you an inside track on who's actually looking at you, who's judging you, what they're looking for, how they're looking for it. And, I have some of the greatest people around me, like Mike Nobis, Mike Bruns, Troy from over at the Veterans Home, Mike. There's a lot of Mikes I just realized that I've been talking to. But, and we're going to go talk to even more. But right now, know this. You matter, but it doesn't matter how much you say to yourself you matter. You got to look in the mirror and know you matter. Then you got to go out and do something. So today, know this. You matter. You're awesome. And if anybody wants to know what this book is, it is Untrapped. I'm going to switch my camera around here. This is the book called Untrapped by Brian Carruthers. And I am going to put a thing on here that, let's see if I can put it on this one. I might be able to add it. Give me a second. Is this it? I think that's it right there. Maybe. That might be the one. I don't know. But if you go fill all this out and I get your name and everything else, I will read everybody's names. I'll so you know that you're all in there. And I'll give you a chance. And we're going to put this book out there for everybody to see. This is the book that we're reading next month. And like I said, you don't have to be in my business to know this stuff. You don't have to read anything. You don't have to do anything you yourself do not want to do. But I do ask that you try, okay? Now, okay, so that is the right one that I put on there. And so, like I said, go to there and, like I said, let me know. Do this 1-minute survey and get entered in a couple contests, and we're going to give some stuff away. And I still have to draw from the fair also. We didn't get as many as I thought, but we will put it in with the fair drawings. And we have all kinds of prizes we're giving away later on. Just have to be careful in what we're doing. Anyway, everybody, have a great day today. Don't forget, one more time, this is what the book is. And I look forward to talking to everybody soon. Bye now.